All right, everyone. So we're reading a tweet here from WrestleLlama.com. Charlotte Flair is expected to return and join the SmackDown brand. She is likely to challenge Nia Jax, which could then lead to a match with Tiffany Stratton at a PLE. It's also been reported Bayley will get a rematch with Nia Jax first. So Charlotte Flair is expected to come back sometime soon. I think the report we did, it was like a little bit around November. I think that's kind of the feeling, is going to be somewhere around November. But the reason we wanted to do this story, it's not just to give you an update on Charlotte Flair, but to just once again highlight the depth of the women's division right now. Let me just read you a few names of four people that are all now vying for the championship: Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Bayley. So you have one super young and up and coming wrestler in Tiffany Stratton. Okay, Nia Jax, who's been around, but she's has a push now and she's getting heat and all that. So Nia Jax, very good wrestler. Charlotte Flair, one of the best women's wrestlers of all time, and Bayley, a massive, massive star, just like Nia Jax. And all four of them, WWE is to try to manage a way where you keep them all in the main event picture. I mean, it's amazing to me how this women's division has grown over just the past decade or further, because there is such depth. You have on two different sides, right? You have two different championships, and you have good storylines on both of them. In fact, one of the best storylines of this entire thing is taking place between Ripley and Liv Morgan. I mean, that's a massive storyline. I mean, you have the bloodline, number one, but under that, and like right under that, and when you're talking delivering every single week, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, I mean, that is the amount of heat that rivalry has picked up is insane. So I just wanted to point that out, because I do think, it gets lost sometimes when we're like almost used to it now, but it's like look at this roster WWE has assembled in the women's division and in the men's division. I mean, when we talk about the Attitude Era, we've said this many times. When we talk about the Attitude Era, people always want to talk about the Austins and Vince McMahon as a heel and The Rock and all the big names like Triple H and others of that era. And don't get me wrong, they were the drivers, okay, the Undertakers of the world. These guys were big stars, and you could tell how big of stars they are because when they come back today, they still get as big of a pop as anybody else. That's crazy to me. It's like there's people who weren't even alive during the Attitude Era who, when they see these guys on TV, they go crazy. That's the kind of star that they were. But the under talked about aspect of the Attitude Era was that the beauty of the Attitude Era was that you had those main event guys that were huge, but then the entire card below it were guys who, in maybe the down times of WWE, would have been main event guys. I mean, they had so much talent, whether it was in the tag team division or for the hardcore championship or for the intercontinental champion, whatever championship you were talking about, that's the kind of talent they had, right? That's the sign in WWE when, okay, this is a great time for wrestling. It's not when, oh, you have some big star who's running the thing. WWE throughout its entire history has always had a big star, even in its down years. I mean, you think about the down years, right? Who was there? Kevin Nash as Diesel, Scott Hall, and Razor Ramon, HBK. Triple H was just kind of getting onto the scene, but all these guys were there. They were all still there, and they were big stars. The difference was during those times, not only was the storytelling not good, and I'm not blaming the wrestlers for the down times. I'm blaming more the storytelling. But you didn't have the, okay, main event's great and the rest of the card's great. That makes the difference. And so this is why I think this is so exciting for wrestling, because now with Charlotte Flair returning, you get another big name to throw in that mix. And it's one of those things you say it's a good problem to have, because WWE has to be pulling their hair out trying to determine, like, I mean, seriously, think about this. Who do you put the belt on here? Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Bayley? Can you go wrong by putting the title on any of them? You can't go wrong putting the title on any of them. Which one do you go with? I mean, it's just one of those things, like I said, a great, great problem to have for WWE. Here's hoping they deliver. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.